It's here. It's finally here. The brand spanking new DaveMossTuning.com. All of Dave's videos and articles in one convenient location. Click the link below and enjoy.
Now, whenever you get a stock motorcycle and you want to adjust your master cylinder and you want to push that master cylinder down to improve the angle on your wrist, loosening the bolts will let you move it down. But if your banjo or your brake line from your master cylinder goes towards your fork leg, you're stuck. The other part of getting stuck is not just that angle, but on the MV master cylinder here is an arm that comes down of superfluous metal. Got that?
No.
So that piece right there.
Okay, got it.
So that piece of metal is there to keep this brake line against the fork. So if this is just a superfluous piece of metal, there's two choices here. One, can I undo the brake line here and move it across over here without having to remove this? Or two, can I go ahead and trim this back so that I can take my brake line and instead of it being at 10 o'clock, put it all the way forward here, well, slightly further forward at least, to maybe 11, about that angle, because of our bodywork, so somewhere around there, so that I can then go ahead and push my brake lever further down to get the right wrist angle. Now, I've pushed this down and I left it there for one afternoon of coaching, which is 3 hours. So what happened? Well, this happened. It's rubbing on the inside of the fork. And if you can see all the way down, that brake line is tweaked at the banjo and it's pushed flat all the way down the fork leg. So that's as low as I can get that. And the problem with doing this is resonance. You can't have metal things touching each other because of vibration. That vibration can set up a harmonic. The harmonic can mean that if that banjo was against the fork, it would eat into it. It will vibrate and rub and take chunks out. So angles of brake lines, what we call clocking, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, noon, are needed to be able for you to put your brake master cylinder where you want it to be. So can you move your line? And if something's in the way, is it superfluous? Can you get rid of it? Or can you move it the other side of it? Because failure to keep your wrist in line for braking and being here means that you accelerate into a braking situation. That can be fatal. So no matter which way you go here, your wrist and hand should stay in line, but you should never have this because you can't get your brake lever down enough. Look at what you have, evaluate it, make a change. Now in comparison on my race bike, while my brake line comes out at about 11 o'clock this way, look at the gap I have between the brake line and the fitting to the fork. It's huge. So with all this airspace through here, I have tons of room to push down on my brake master to get it to exactly the angle I want without having an issue of resonance with my brake lines or the banjo fitting pushing against the outer tube whatsoever. So in this instance, I can clock my race bike lines to 11 o'clock and have plenty of room to do whatever I want.
To schedule a remote tuning appointment for you and your bike with Dave via text, email, Facebook, etc., contact Dave on Facebook or by email, dave@davemosstuning.com.